Hey everybody, Mobile Gamers Unite. So this is my top 5 on my alt, and this is what they're actually looking like. Joshua is actually only at about 3,000 power level, so he is still the weakest character I'm running, but he's doing fairly awesome, and he is fun to play. And actually, when I actually level up his items, he'll be a lot more powerful. Now, these characters aren't even fully leveled up to where they could be. Obviously, this is just a rough account and it's work in progress, but I gotta say that this account has actually made a lot of progress in a month and a half. I mean, this is pretty good, getting up to, you know, almost level 60 already. I think that's pretty awesome. I didn't anticipate that this account would level up so quickly, but I gotta say, once you've already played this game, obviously, and you go back in for a second time, and you know exactly which troops to work on, and you know exactly, like, especially if you know which team that you're going to be running. And obviously, when I made this account, I had that in mind, so I already knew which characters to start farming things for and which troops, which, like, goes a long way. For instance, my flyers, the flyers that I have the most stock in are the Holy Pegasus, and that's because Luna is using them. They're about the same level as they are in my main account, actually. I don't have anything else. I don't have Vampire Bats at level 10 or whatever, you know what I mean? But I at least have those Holy Pegasus because I just knew that Luna was going to carry this account. As soon as I played with Luna the first time, I knew she was a character that could really carry an account easily and budget friendly. It's just so easy to get her attack so high, you know, and her fusion power is so useful where it is useful. It's just great. So she runs great with Joshua, and pretty much with Joshua it's just been more fun. I like playing this type of character. I like the way that the mechanics work, and he can put up a lot of damage. And this is an account that doesn't have a Leon. Alright, but I just got Cher, and actually the more and more I keep thinking about it, yeah, I'm going to be working on Cher because she is like the Princess Leon. She's the closest thing to Leon that the princesses have, and she just does so much. You can't knock her. She's a badass. So, also, I'd like to mess around with the assassin build with her because I have the extreme magic bow. So because I do have her on my main account, and I did get I did spend some of the runestones to unlock her because I didn't know back then. It's a great example of how wasteful we were when we first started playing. You didn't know which faction you were really gonna go. You know, you had runestones and you had a couple SSR characters and you thought all of them were cool. You didn't know which faction you were going to stick with. You didn't know, you know, some of those characters that you had back then that you thought were so cool, they might have ended up sitting on a bench, you know. So, but Cher is going to get leveled up. I'm going to put her into the rotation. She just does so much. So I can't wait to do that. And oddly enough, I have the extra gear for her. Like, I have a few peacemakers, and I think I even have like an armor for her. So that's kind of cool because I already have that stuff like laying around. The other thing I have to say about this account is, like, right off rip, I just started getting drops of items that were just great specifically for the characters that I have. Like, the stars really aligned on the gear on this account. That's where it really shined through. And it's not just the extreme magic bow. Okay, I mean, I got the blue spark for Langrisser, you know, so his damage increases when he moves up. It works really well for him. Even Luna, she has a cursed lance, and this item is great, and it's great for PvP too. It increases her magic defense when attacking, which Luna's attacking all the time, and it increases like her defense as well. And it can silence people. That's just great. So, good stuff. I'm happy with this account. I'm happy where it's going. Luna's really pulling the way. Langrisser is pretty powerful too, I gotta say. Blue Star, Ana's armor, Ana's helmet, and the Slayer's emblem. I like the Slayer's emblem because you get to use so much of it in PvP. There's always people running flyers in PvP. You're going to be fighting against Cher, probably, you know? So it just comes in useful, and I've always liked playing with Lanford because, like I just like the mechanic of how his javelin works, along with him being able to do chivalry. It's just badass, and I just think he's an awesome and fun character. And of course, there's this guy who is tanking for me, Landius. I have to put a lot of stock into him, and I'm really going to be working on him. And I gotta say, now that he's been out for a while, I did see a Landius that was absolutely A1 badass. He just had such high stats. I was just really happy and relieved to see that, and I was like, okay, so, you know, I know he can get to that level where that's where I'm gonna be aiming for, because he's really gonna be the tank for this whole account. And I'm pretty much gonna have to have 2 different armors for him, because I'm gonna have one for physical close range attacks, melee combat, and I'm gonna have one armor for ranged combat. And I just think that's what you need to do for him to really utilize him, because there's going to be a lot of times where you know you're going to be going up against either one type or the other. And I just think that's a pretty good advantage. Like knowing what you're going up against and picking the appropriate armor for that. And you can do that with Landius just because of the type of tank he is. So that makes it interesting. And of course, our girl Rachel here, I'm going to be messing around with Rachel. She is 6-star. I'm pretty happy with her healing, actually. And actually, did we get another Holy Grail? Or was that on the main? We'll check. But okay, it was on the main. I did pull another Holy Grail, but that was on the main account. Or I'd combine it. But Rachel is sweet. So far, I had to use Rachel as the main healer on this account. And guess what, guys? She's done it. I'm like, you know, I'm almost at level 60, and this Rachel's been healing for me the whole time with the Crystal Rune set. Now, she might be 6-star, but still, a lot of that really affects her damage and stuff. She still heals quite a bit. Even without the Holy Grail, she's still going to heal a lot. The Holy Grail is just like extra icing on the cake. It just really kind of makes it ridiculous. Also, if you can... if you class her the right way, she can also have, Gift of Eternal Life, where after she attacks, she heals the person with the lowest hit points, and that thing's like some kind of hammer or something, but the healer's class can equip it. So, and I do believe that is one of her class abilities. Well, one of the classes she can be. Yeah, right here. If she's a bishop, she can use whatever hammer-looking weapon thing that is that has Gift of Eternal Life, where you heal people after doing damage, after attacking. That works really well with her too, because you know you're gonna be attacking people to make her heal proc. But I want to change her up, because now I actually have a real healer on this account. I have Liana. So I just feel like I could probably get more out of Rachel if I really just built her with clock, so she could really just spam the shit out of this amazing AoE and magic break ability that she has. So I'm gonna be, but that's a commitment. That's re-rolling a whole, or at least most of a set of items, and that's a lot of rolls. It's a lot of resources, man. When you start rolling SSR enhancements, and I mean, it takes a while just to get enough of them to really sit down and have a session of rolling on them, and it gets expensive with the gold too. What is it, like 25,000 gold a piece? So it's I don't know. I have better things to do right now, but I definitely would like to change Rachel around a little bit and see what more I could get out of her. So, and like I said, this account has gotten a lot of princesses that I really didn't anticipate getting. I didn't think I'd get a Liana, that's for sure. She just came in out of nowhere, And just because of her act again ability, she's worth it in any account. Like, there's nobody that could pull Liana and be upset about it. Act again alone is just that amazing, and the fact that she's such a solid healer. Her and Tiaras are god tier. Like, there's no arguing that. I don't think anybody's trying to argue that. And they're just some of the best characters. And of course, you know, these are the banners that they gave us in between the limited banners. So it seems like, you know, at least they got their strategy right. They know that if they're going to get people to pull in between limited banners, that they got to offer us some good characters. And that's exactly what they've done. And I'm glad that they brought the Yeless sisters into the lineup. A lot of people were waiting for this banner. And that is where I pulled Shelfaline, Shellfish Girl, whatever the hell her name is. So she will be part of the rotation, and that is why it was so important to pull her. She's a low power level right now. I just got her up to 3,000. She's, as far as the mages go, even when you're starting out, you absolutely have to bond out their stats, because, you know, the AoEs and the skills that you're throwing are based off of your actual hero stats, not their soldiers. So, you know, I've been hitting the bonds and making sure that she's at least throwing max damage with her AoEs right now, to at least clear out goblins and be useful and, you know, bring something to the table to this account. So, but I don't have a Lana, and, you know, going from having Lana and Basel on my main account and then coming over here, and then just certain fights you get into, certain dragons where your caster game is not on par, you're just like, oh man, like it's just impossible, you know, unless you get, you know, your caster game on par. So this really helps me out. I was really happy to see Cellophane, and then I realized that to fully bond her out and get some more percentage on her, I think it's like her level 25 bond too, you have to have her sister to unlock those powers. And that's when I tried to pull her sister real quick, see if I could get lucky, and instead we got another one of her. But hey, that's cool, you know, I'm not going to complain about that. So she is 4-star, and that really helps because, like I said, the caster game was really, it wasn't doing too hot. And before that, I didn't have Joshua either with all his AoEs and stuff. We just picked up Joshua too. So pretty much all the characters that we've just recently picked up to go along with our Yeless lineup, they have all just been taken up to about a 3,000 power level. That's where this account is at. Luna is still pulling all the way, and just going through like the level 50, 55 content and getting that up to par, so I can at least, the goal is to at least do all the level 55 dragons, because after that you really can coast as a player, okay? You can get on every day, you can do your dailies, and you can expect to at least get some SSR love here and there. And you got to be able to at least clear the level 55 dragons to get to that point. So that is what I would suggest to anybody. Like, if you were to make an account and you said, hey Vlad, what's a really good point to get to where, you know, I'm set up pretty good, I would tell you, hey, grind out like the level 55 dragons, get to that point where you can auto run those every day and at least start slowly collecting your SSR gear that you're going to be using in the near future. So that's really where I'm trying to get this account to. I don't think it's all that bad. This account's like a month and a half old. It can't be, yeah. So I think I've done fairly well, and actually I'm surprised I play this thing as much as I do. It's kind of funny. I do find myself playing this account more lately, and it's just because of the playstyle. I really do like these characters, but when these characters dropped, like the cast was already made. I already chose which faction I was going into with my main account, and I already invested like everything into that as far as items and just everything, all my resources. So, you know, it did make sense to me to get these characters, and I do have them on my main, but they're not, like, my Luna is nowhere near as strong as this Luna right here. Not on my main account. I mean, my Luna on my main account, I send her out for Guild Wars. That's about it. But in this account, she gets used, and she's a lot stronger. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna keep I'm just gonna get this one to 55 and then let it coast, and we're gonna see how it goes, and then it's gonna be back onto my main, because I still do love playing with Leon and Altamüller and Bernard, and mine are, they're just over like that 5,000, 6,000 power, and that's really where I want to push all of those characters into, so I can just clear harder content and increase the number of SSR items I'm getting. Yeah, so that's where your boy's at, and this is where my alt account is at right now. So I really don't know what I'm going to do with this account for this next banner. I don't really feel the need to pull on it, even though they're limited characters. You know, I'm sure I have like this 1200 crystal, so we'll throw that, but that's probably about it. Actually, you know what? Yeah, there's like some time rift and stuff to grind out, so maybe if I have time for time rift, I will do that, and I'll see if I can get any more crystals on here, but I couldn't see myself getting more than 15 pulls on this account on this new banner. So that's pretty much what everybody is getting ready for, and that's what I should be getting ready for too. My main account is alright. I got like, I don't know, probably 7,000 crystals. So we're gonna have to see. I am very excited for the new characters that are coming out, the second half of the limited characters. They should be some of the strongest characters, especially for PvP. So this will be cool, and I'm excited. So Mobile Gamers Unite, this is what I'm doing just to pass the time. And I think we got 2 weeks. I think we'll be all right. But anyway, guys, I'm one click away. Have a good day.